Diolch yn fawr iawn. This motion expresses support for Wales's membership of the United Kingdom, of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and its indefinite continuance. I'm afraid that we on these Plaid Cymru benches can't sign up to that. Why? Firstly, I think we're more than likely discussing a hypothetical. It would be foolish in the extreme, I believe, to fully commit ourselves in perpetuity to a state that is perhaps unlikely to exist in its current form for very long. Scottish independence seems to me to be pretty inevitable in coming years, and the rapidly moving picture regarding Irish unity is one that is likely, I think, to do nothing other than gather pace in coming months and years. So not only are we talking about a hypothetical, we're also being asked to vote on something that could well be beyond our control. We could, of course, choose to commit ourselves to being a servile annex to England in a post-Scottish independence, post-Irish unity world. But the recent upsurge in interest in the independence question here in Wales suggests that's becoming a less and less attractive proposition to an awakening Welsh public. So by all means, let's... Of course.
I find it very difficult to understand why Plaid Cymru would prefer to be a region in a huge conglomeration of regions that stretches from the Baltic to the Aegean, rather than be a nation in a unity of nations we call the United Kingdom. You have been told quite categorically that you will not be recognised as a nation in Europe.
As an independent nation, we would certainly be recognised as a nation throughout the whole world. And my wish is for that Welsh nation to develop those international networks that your party seems determined to break. Building walls rather than building bridges. But by all means, let's talk about our transport infrastructure, as I'm always eager to, on how to improve connectivity, to strengthen our economy. But let's do it in the spirit of real ambition for our country, as an equal partner alongside England, Scotland, our friends across the Irish Sea, and indeed our friends across the English Channel. Just a reminder of the legacy of transport within a United Kingdom context. It's taken till now to have a single mile of electrified railway here in Wales, and even then, when it gets switched on, it'll only be as far as Cardiff because UK government decided that's how far it should go. All our multi-lane highways run east-west. Those routes are very, very important, of course, but where are the north-south routes that could in the same way have helped create an integrated Welsh economy? There's no rail connection down the west coast of Wales at all. I reckon I could cycle quicker from Blaenau Ffestiniog to Carmarthen than to go on the train, taking about eight hours. On rail spending, we get 1% of the money that's available to improve and expand rail networks when we have 11% of the rail network. HS2, I'm sure you all know that as HS2 spending goes up, rail spending in Wales goes down because it's considered to be a Wales and England project, even though every study shows that the Welsh economy will be harmed by HS2. That's the legacy of the UK. And it's the UK government, as I pointed out earlier, that decided that Wales did not deserve to have a single mile of core status rail or road within the TEN-T networks. Take turns. Mark Ishwood first.
Will you also recognise those?
Mark Ishwood. Mark Ishwood, Scott.
As a member representing a North Wales constituency, will you acknowledge those same studies said that North Wales would benefit?
Only if they get some decisions on crew correct is there a chance that the parts of North Wales in the North East may not be harmed. But the Welsh economy as a whole, on which we will be basing our tax base in years to come, will be harmed. Every study shows that. Mark Ruffles.
I agree with what member says, and it's one reason we're keen to cancel HS2, but it's also something David T.C. Davis, chair of the Welsh Select Committee, said on Sunday night to the Brexit minister, that because of HS2, HS2, because of that unfairness, he was wanting to push to get UK government to pay for the M4 relief road.
It's very interesting. Consensus can build between politicians here in Wales and politicians in Westminster. It's happened over air passenger duty, for example. But still, because the cards are held by UK government, it is up to them, not us as a nation, what we get to decide on the future of our transport network. So there's a catalogue of examples that I could give of why the UK is not a positive legacy for Wales when you look at transport. If you want to make the case for the UK, I'd suggest transport was a pretty poor choice of topic. And in fact, I think it's getting more and more difficult for you to choose a topic that says that the UK is our best bet. It was believed that the British Empire would never see the sun set on it. That the empire was set for, and I quote the Brexit Party, indefinite continuance. But the sun did set on it. Now we look to a new dawn, so rub your eyes and join us on the journey.